Love Story.
Hello, dear friends, and welcome to the Love Talk Show, where you can learn the intelligent love. I'm James. I'm here with Pastor Lucas. How are you doing tonight, Pastor Lucas?
Hello, everyone. Hello, Pastor James. Very excited to have a couple here tonight.
Yes. That's a tradition of the Love Talk Show. Every Wednesday we have the Love Story. And here with us we have Nixon and Leah from Plasto, right?
Yes, indeed.
Good evening. How are you doing, guys?
Good evening, Pastor.
How long together already for?
22 years.
22 years.
Yes.
So we have loads of stories to hear tonight, right?
Definitely.
22 years. What you can say about these 22 years?
Well, in those 20 years, we had highs and lows.
Okay.
Yes.
How was your love life before? Just a little bit.
My love life before was completely destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I came from a background which we didn't believe in marriage. So it was something that...
So that was the idea was built up on your mind.
Exactly, in my mind. So I never thought I would be married now, today. So it was something that I grew up with, seeing my parents separate for a very young age. So that brought... made me not believe in a marriage, in a successful marriage.
Wow. And what about you, Leah? How was, just a little bit, your love life before?
Well, I was the same as my husband. So I come from my mom, and I didn't know my father until 13 years old. So my parents is already separate since when I was a child, like 2 years, 3 years old. So, and always argument in the house and all of this. So I come in all of this inside of my...
So Nixon, you didn't like thinking about marriage.
No.
So tell us, please, why? What is the root of this kind of mentality?
I'll start within my family. My dad, and not only my dad, but I could see that it was like a curse on my family, that it was not many people married, but all together, basically living together.
Mm-hmm.
And because I saw that, I thought, if they are living together that way, so there's no need to get married.
Mm-hmm.
We should just live together as well, I suppose. And that's what was in my mind.
And with that, so you had that mentality of, okay, I don't need to get married. Just live to find someone and in moving together and start, living a life.
Yes.
So how many times did you try, trying to find this someone to moving together? How was your love life with this kind of mentality?
I never thought about having a serious relationship because I was moving from one girl to another girl, and I grew up like that because once again I saw that in some members of my family, they are not faithful to their wives, and that generating on me the same type of mentality. So I would date this one, and I was dating the other one, and the other one at the same time.
The same time?
Yes.
How is it possible?
Don't ask me how.
3 girls at the same time. And tell me, please, what was that for? Because of the sensation, because of the the feeling of empowerment. What is the reason?
I think at that time, because now I understood, because men, they have that, it's like they feel that necessity to show that they can possess different type of girls or women's, and they like to boast, oh, I'm dating this one, I'm dating that one, and I grew up with this mentality when I was young, and in this generation, the young generation, they still doing those kind of things. They have this mentality. This mentality didn't vanish. It's still out there.
But you thought you were doing the right thing.
Exactly. I thought I was doing the right thing because I was following what everyone else was doing.
And I'm at home waiting for him.
Yes.
And what about you, Leah? How was your background? You already told us that you came from your family with serious issues, right?
My mom and my
your
father.
Mom, your father. So tell me, please, how these problems in your family impact in your love life?
Well, but my family, my parents, they separate years ago, yeah. But my brothers, they are married. So the majority of my family, their marriage. They have a relationship and then marriage, not like live together.
Mhm.
So I have that mentality, not live together, but get married. So when Nixon asked me for, how to say the word,
To living
Namora.
together.
You
To
know,
start dating.
To start dating. So I say yes, but that yes was supposed to be yes for marriage.
Okay.
But that's the way he deal.
She came with a background of people they get married, and I came with a different type of background.
So you really wanted to get married,
And I
and
was,
Nixon never.
and this was one of the first arguments start with us, because I always ask him why. And we 1 year, 2 years, and time is passed, and
Mhm. But let us just get this point, because this, Pastor Lucas, this is a very problematic thing nowadays. They start dating, but the communication wasn't good. Because if she had found out before that he had no intentions in getting married, probably you wouldn't start dating with him, right?
but he promised me.
Okay. So
Promised me.
okay, so also a liar before, right?
Yes. I
Gosh,
was a deceiver.
deceiving her.
But he used to do this with many women, I
Yes.
assume.
Yes. I used to have a lot of girlfriends, which
And
That's
not-
that's what men do out there, right?
Yeah,
They
exactly.
lie
They
in
lie.
order to get the women,
yeah,
right?
and something that I realized, of course, once I came to church and conversion and moving on, I realized that what I was doing was wrong, but there's nothing I could do at that stage for the past. Past was
Mhm.
done,
Yeah.
but there's what I can do now is
So he didn't care. You lied. Okay, all right.
Yeah, but-
We'll get married, but let's go out.
yes,
And Pastor James, as you were saying, this is a problem because you see his background, her background, his idea, her idea. And that's why, Pastor James, in the law of therapy, people learn that they need to look for the right person.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they go out there, right,
Mm-hmm.
in websites, in apps, if they go out there to look for someone, they're never going to find someone who has the same goals,
Mm-hmm.
the same mentality. They learn the same things they are learning in the law of therapy.
But the reason, number one, why people they don't find the right person is because they are not yet the right person. That's why we had these problems, because you at the time none of you were the right person.
And,
So you had the this kind of combination that.
and the culture as well, which is affecting both of us,
Mm-hmm.
because okay, he come from different culture than I, so for
Mhm.
me to, I have to think a lot at the time. So maybe one of the thing take him out of me to go outside. Maybe because that I don't know how to cook the food he likes, the food he's
Mm.
growing up. The mother or the grand nun did for him. So is one of the things affecting him, because sometimes he will tell me, "Oh, I miss that food. I miss that food." And that time I don't know how to cook that food, and I cook my culture, which is a good one as well.
Mm-hmm.
But there is something
That
missing there.
the home taste.
But the day come, I say, okay, then
But
I
all these problems, they could be sorted in the dating time if they were dating properly. But that's the problem. People, they are in a hurry to, okay, I have to, let me get this opportunity because, at least I have someone, let's do it. And they don't think about the consequences. And tell us, please, what was the consequence of this hurry in moving together and doing that?
I think because before Nixon, I was 1 year I was no relationship 1 year, and
Mhm.
I didn't plan to get into a new one
Mm-hmm.
soon. But I think sometimes the problem is when we are current. How do you say?
when
needy.
someone is in
Yeah.
need.
Yeah, you feel like you're lonely and you're desperate,
Mhm.
need someone,
Okay.
and both of us at the time, we are in the same level.
So both of you had this Neediness. Oh, I need to find someone.
Someone
Yeah.
and
Can you see how dangerous is that, Pastor Lucas? How dangerous is that feeling of neediness? Will always lead you to make poor decisions. And usually, the needy one will find another needy one. And when you have, a relationship where people, they are not thinking about giving, but only receiving, we have two vampires. But imagine two vampires, one in the other's neck, sucking each other.
blood.
They will die.
I think they were ticking all the boxes of the
Yeah.
no list.
Yes.
Right? They were ticking all the boxes that we
Not to
tell
do.
not to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes,
but
he was.
there is one thing differently, because I always want willing to give it to make his happy. I do he was my God,
Okay. Another
so
problem.
I do everything to please him.
So you
even
didn't value
to-
yourself, basically.
No, I don't. To learn the food. I went to learn his food to the point today when the family trial, everybody, they think sometimes it's someone from Africa cooked.
Mm-hmm.
And was me. When they said, no, that's my wife. Wow. I learned, I would go deeper to learn everything just to please him.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, he was going outside.
It wasn't enough.
Yeah.
It was not enough. No.
Yeah, the thing is, when someone with this mentality, like I had before, is not going to find a woman who's going to please him, because it's
Yeah.
something that is inside. There is something that is inside that it needs to
so
come
you
out.
were with her,
I was with her, yes.
but you were going out with other people as well,
Yes,
other women,
yes.
cheating on her. You were cheating on her.
Yeah, I was a womanizer, and I was,
Drunk.
yeah, I used to drink a lot as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I went,
You didn't believe in marriage.
I didn't believe in marriage, no.
You didn't want to get married to anyone.
No, not at all.
You wouldn't have this dream or see yourself married one day.
No, because what my eyes would see, I would see.
When you
peop-
grow up, you grew
yeah,
up.
I grew up
seeing-
with seeing that people are married and they are not happy. They are getting divorced. I said, okay, if you're gonna marry someone, you expect to last with that person. So why that person is getting divorced? Why this person is getting divorced? Why this one that is married is lasting longer than the other one that is married? So all those kind of things
Mhm.
was attracting me to want to think that way. I was thinking, no, I don't need to get married. We just need to live the way we are.
Yeah, but that's also is a very interesting way of thinking, because look, nowadays if you look overall, you see that most of people they are thinking exactly like you used to think.
Yeah.
They think I don't need to be in a relationship. Actually, if I am in a relationship, I don't need to get married. I can just be together. People, they say, but a marriage is just a piece of paper, so it's money, and people, they work hard for money. But anyways, when you see most of people, they are not thinking about marriage. They are just thinking about please themselves in any way. But when we look at the few people that they are getting married, when they are staying, together and successful, we have to see that, okay, there is a very special thing about these people, because they are rare. It's like gold, because it's precious, and everything that is precious, has its value, increased. So if I have, a little percentage of people that they are being happy in their love life, I want to know what they are doing about it.
Yes.
But unfortunately, Pastor, look, what we see is exactly the opposite. People take, okay, that's, yes, there are some people being happy in love life, but let me follow the crowd. Let me be unhappy, or let me just, live my life.
Yeah, they think that's the exception,
Yeah.
right? Like we spoke at the beginning, these people got lucky for some reason, but I don't see myself married. Like him, I don't see myself getting married. Who am I to be married, to be happy? This is not for me. I don't believe that this can happen in my life.
Yeah.
That's the problem, right? They don't believe in marriage. They don't believe in love.
Exactly. So tell us, please, what was the worst moment in your relationship, of course, before that led you to seek help? I believe Leah can speak about
go
it.
ahead.
So I come to the church, and when I come to the church, so I learn all the principles of what it means to be marriage, not just about marriage, but to be a wife, to be a mother, all of this, and I start putting to practice. So, and the first thing I start did is when I go home, even when he come out, smell different perfume, lipsticks on the whatever, on the clothes, whatever I find it in the car, you know, I will do, and with the mentality, okay, you're gonna be one day just for me.
Mm-hmm.
I will achieve. I always have in my mind, one day he will stop the life. Whatever he does, he will stop. And I did purpose for him. Impossible cases as well. Saturdays, mornings, Thursdays. I come to the church, I bring the picture, I bring the clothes for him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he resists to put them on anyway. But I keep doing that until one day I cannot take the pen anymore, because he gets more, it sounds like more I pray, more purpose I do, more worse he got,
Mm-hmm.
or he gets,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And there is a day I say, okay, you know, enough is enough. I come to Finsbury Park, Impossible Cases, think is a love therapy at the time, at 7 a.m. on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And my English was very worse than today. So I saw the advertise on the TV record. And then I say, this Saturday, I'm go there. You know, and they're talking about, like today, we're talking about the couples.
Mm-hmm.
So I come so early. And when I come here, it was a prayer for family. And I don't understand. It's supposed for couples, it's for family. But anyway, I go with my faith. In the end, Pastor anoint everybody their hands with the blood of, is the juice of,
Mm-hmm.
but to represent the blood of Jesus, you know. And whatever you want to be blessed, go and touch by faith, you conquer. And Pastor asked me, you come from Plasto? I say, yes, Pastor. Was Pastor Carlos. He's in Angola now. And he say, why you come here when you have the same service? And I explain. I was desperate. I start crying. And then when I explain, then he tell me, okay, then he's direct me what the steps I have to do. But he told me, when you go home, to touching him, just touching him,
Mm-hmm.
wherever, could be in the hands, in the legs, wherever, just touching him. God will touch in him, and a miracle will happen. And I go home, I find my husband in bed, and then I ask him if I want to speak with him, if he's able to listen, because he never listened to me. No time for me. He will get angry quickly and leave the house in seconds. So then I was telling him, now I want to finish the relationship. I don't want this relationship anymore. I find Jesus, and now Jesus is in my heart, not him anymore. I still love you, but I love Jesus more. So if you want to be with me, this is what I want. We need to get married. We need to be faithful. He has to be faithful to me. And okay, he start laughing and say, oh, you went that church, they give a brainwash and you change, look at you. And he's really laughing. And I was so serious, look at him in my eyes. Then I said, no, I'm not a joker. I know before, when you get argument before, I used to kick him out of the house. 2 days after, I'll call him, okay, then come back. You know, we have children. I never think about, not me, but I don't want my kids to grow up with different men. And because my kids are sacrifice all of this, so he's keeping thinking I'm joking. And this CD is repeating. That's why he told me. So I said, okay, then may God bless you. And I shake their hands. Remember that day?
Yeah, I do remember.
So I shake their hands. He packed the bag the next day and he go to Portugal, stay for 15 days.
Thinking that she would call you back and say, please
But
come back.
didn't. This time he's
Wow.
called me back to come back. But I say no. Then he say no. I left £1,000 with my friend to rent a bedroom for me, and he went to the gambling shopping and spent the money there. Now I don't have no bedroom, no money. Let me stay in your house. Please, he told me, I will respect you, but until I find, I'll give you like 1 week. He tell me, I'll give you just a week. Okay, I believe in him. I let him come. The 2 days after, I was listening to Bishop Macedo radio, and he said, this Sunday will be a consecration for the whole men in the whole family. Could be my husband, father, uncle. Invite him. And oh my goodness, how I'm going to invite him? We don't talk to each other. I was in my kid's bedroom. He was in the other bedroom. So I say, I'll call him. And I call him. He pick up the phone. And I say, listen, this Sunday, you have a plan for this Sunday? He say, no, you're going to be home? Yes. Okay, and then I explain to him, because I invite my husband thousands times and he keep refusing. And then I invite him, he say yes. And then I was, the night before, I think he will not come, because he just want to please me, for me to accept him again. So I say, no way, I'm going to leave the kids with you. And I'm going at 7 a.m. And at 10 a.m. you bring the kids to the church for the CVC. And he did.
But you can see, you start seeing, a side of transformation in your marriage when you change it first, when you changed your attitudes. Because for the time that you stayed as begging for attention,
Yes.
begging for love,
Making him her God.
yes,
Yes, sir.
You see what she said to him. Oh, you're not first in my life anymore. I found Jesus, and he's in my. I still love you, but Jesus comes first, right?
yeah,
And she obeyed, right, Pastor James?
Yes.
The secret was there. She obeyed. Since the first day she came, she obeyed everything the pastor told her to do.
and that's the first step for any person to start changing their love life. Being single or in a relationship, married or just cohabiting just like they were before, that's the very first step. It's not thinking about changing the person that is with you or changing the world around you, but changing yourself, working yourself, just like you did, right? Because I believe, Leah, for you to get to the point to have this level of courage to say, look, get out of my house. For sure, for you to get to this point, you had to work a lot in yourself, right?
A lot, Pastor, because I don't value myself. And it's like I treat my husband really. I buy the expensive clothes for him, everything. I don't think about me. I don't buy for me nothing. I buy for him, for the kids. But always is him. Everything is him. When I go cook, even I know he's with someone else. I know. I have the assurance, and I know it is him sometimes. I keep cooking, put the plate on the table, eat with my kids, and expect he can come anytime to eat with us. I always have that mentality. I don't know, my mind, I was so, how do you say?
Obsessed.
Obsessed. It's something I don't understand. Later, when I start put my faith into practice, I say, my goodness, I don't like myself. I look to the mirror, my goodness, I'm so ugly. Then I was so skinny because I went to depressed for 18 years.
Wow.
Because of this situation.
I'm already have a bit depressed when I meet him, and then because of him, it
got
goes
worse.
very deep, and I cannot deal with him.
So you didn't value yourself.
No.
But since the
Argue.
time you came to church, God taught you how to value yourself, right? To the point that she told him, pack your bags. And he left.
Yeah.
He didn't even believe she was serious, right?
For sure, he was thinking, she was gonna call,
No, I didn't this
It's
time.
gonna be just like
Yeah.
the other time.
I was
But
firm.
Nixon, I'm very curious now to get to know something, because in the midst of this, this whole confusion here, your wife, doing everything for you, trying to please you in every way, you never felt bad about it.
I think I did had emotions, but it was like something was holding me to take the right actions. So I would feel bad at the stage, but next day
Just
it went.
you go back to the
You
same.
go back to the same thing. So it's like it was like a routine inside of me. I was doing what was wrong. I would come to her. Let's
Start again.
start again, and it always like that.
Did you ever think like, I'm not even married to her? Did you ever think like this? I'm not even married to her.
Yeah. That
I
was
don't owe her anything.
exactly. That was
You,
that
you
was
see,
the
Pastor
thinking as
James, people say, it's not important to get married. But in these times,
Oh yeah.
they use this. I never married you. I have no commitment with you, right?
Yeah. That's the problem. But so when you finally saw and realized, okay, I'm losing that woman.
Yes, when I finally realized, you know what, there was, at first, I went with the intention, you know what, I'm going with her
Mm-hmm.
just to make her happy.
Yeah.
Church.
Let's go to the church, let me make her happy. And then once I come, that was my plan, but God had a completely different plan. Because when I arrived there, the message was straight. For me, it was something related to love, and the way the man of God was speaking, it was straight for me. He opened my eyes since that day. It was from that day, in May, that everything changed.
So from that day, you start to change.
Yes, exactly.
Because you saw your wife changing as well.
Yes. I even told her that you're completely different.
Oh yeah, that day.
Yeah,
that day.
That day I told her, you're completely different. I saw
God.
God in you because I saw changes in her.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Because sometimes I was wrong, but many times the way she behaved, it pushed me out.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was doing what was wrong, indeed, and I recognize was my fault. But because she had this aggressive way, pushy way, imposing way at that time, I didn't like it. It's like she was trying to grab hold of me, and I wanted to be free.
Mm-hmm.
So when I start seeing that a completely different character in her, mentality, more calm, more patient, and I said, well, I need to see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went there, I said, you know what, I'm just going to pretend and then I'll come back. No. I went, and since that day,
You were still in the faith.
yes. Amen.
And how was for you to change? Because your transformation also wasn't easy, I imagine, because a man that was so used to live that promiscuous life, to make a decision, okay, from now on I'm going to change, I will live for my family, I'll be faithful to my wife. How was this process of transformation for you?
It was hard. I'd say it was hard. But at the same time, I understood the word. So because I understood the word, I was doing everything. I was doing everything possible that the word would be fulfilling me. I don't know if you understand. It's like when I arrived there in the church, the first every day, every service, we're talking about the Holy Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
You can change your life. You can be transformed. You can be a better person. You everything in you will change. So I had this. This was my goal.
Mm-hmm.
This was what I wanted for me. That was what I was envisioned to achieve. So I was very honest. When I get home, on the first month, I was up and down. But after that, I got courage, became bold, and I grabbed my phone. All those women that I used to see before, I grabbed the phone and I called them straight up. I said, you know what? From now on, this relationship cannot go on because now I'm a man of God and I don't want nothing with you.
And what was not Leah, behind with a knife,
No.
threatening you.
That was my own.
It was your
spirit.
decision.
My decision. I was.
You didn't need to force that, right? Leah?
No. I was doing.
And how many times you tried to force him to do this?
No, when he say, sometimes it's the way I deal, and then he go out.
Mm-hmm.
It means I know he will go out. We start to have arguments, and quickly his reaction is to take the phone and the keys.
Okay.
And sometimes I'll hold him. Please don't go.
Okay.
All I want is you
Okay.
to stay and talk. Let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
But he will not understand me what I want, and obviously he will go. I get more angry. So when he come home, will be worse. And what he says regarding he called them, I never interfere. I just do one thing. My knees was my secret.
Mm-hmm.
Because since the day he came to the church, I every night put my knees 3 a.m. behalf of him, God. Don't allow him step back, because the sacrifice I made for my husband, I didn't made it. I made a different sacrifice. Nobody tell me to do, only God. I was new in church as well,
Mm-hmm.
but I made a sacrifice for my husband, and I asked God like this, okay, God, if this man is the man you took the, no, if I am the rib you made me, it comes from him. So you need to bring him to you, transform him, and then give him to me for me to take care of it. This was my prayer. So when he's really come to the church, I carry on reminding God, pray, put my knees on the floor, don't let him go back, but transform him for me to take care.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he said the first man was a bit, he go to the church with me, come home, friends call him, I let he go, but I go on my knees, my God, create a confusion down there for him to come home quicker. And that's exactly what happened. He will come home, I went to speak about God to my friends, and arguments, they start calling me a pastor, I have to come home. And I remember day, one friend went to holiday to a different country with his wife and his family. And then his sister-in-law saw the pictures, and these pictures, we are there in the videos of, we went to a party for the child. And his sister-in-law was divorced from her husband. And soon as she saw his picture, knowing he's my husband, she told him she wants to come to London to meet him. And he called him to meet her. So he's answered the phone in the front of me and say, if was before the church, I will accept it. But now, my friend, go away of me, because
Of
I'm
course.
happy. I was crying that day, because now I see my husband is faithful.
And that difference
Wow.
didn't come from your efforts in
No.
trying to change him. It was natural, something that
Yes.
you were.
Yes, I wanted
willing.
to change. I wanted to change. I wanted to be a better person.
Mm-hmm.
So I understood that I needed the Spirit of God.
And
now to
Nixon,
change me.
when you think about the kind of life you lived before, or the pain you caused to your wife, what do you think? What do you feel about it today?
I feel disgust, to be honest. I feel that she didn't deserve that. Not only her. I was even today talking with a friend of mine regarding this subject about everyone that cheats on their wife, or everyone that have multiple relationships, they are hurting the feelings of all those ones.
Yeah.
So consequences how? And I said to him, before I come to God, I made many people suffering, and I recognize that, but I cannot go back. I ask God for forgive me, but it's something that I don't like that.
Mhm.
Because it's
Including the children
Exactly,
as well. The
exactly.
children suffer as well.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
yes.
they suffer a lot.
Because they feel it. They see the fights,
Yeah.
the absence of the father.
Mhm.
Yes.
I remember my girls, they used to, when we split, oh, thank God.
Really?
When I
Wow.
say, oh, daddy come back home,
Yeah.
I spoke with dad and everything, he's coming home. No, again. They
Because
used to say
feel
that.
the pressure as well.
They used to say that. No,
So I
again.
can imagine.
There was more peace when they were separated
Exactly.
than
Then
together.
together. So I can
Yeah.
imagine, how you felt, when you heard that, that your children prefer you away than in
Yeah,
house.
of course. You get upset. You feel, wow, I didn't know that I would cause that impression on that. But
But okay, so far you were just living together. Who made a decision? Let's get married.
He was a fighting again.
Oh, really?
everything in us
Was
was a
everything
fight.
in our after God, after everything, then yes, it's a process. Because
Yeah.
after he comes to the church,
Mm-hmm.
the process, the mentality about he changed, he leave a lot of things he left behind,
Mm-hmm.
but the mentality to get married still on there.
Okay.
So I did another purpose on impossible cases.
Mhm.
Someone offered to me the address, so I took a picture with myself. Put it, someone a bishop, but on his hair, I cut my one picture of my husband hair and I put it there and I say, I want him to be a man of God like him and marry me.
Because you were telling us, Ms. Leah, before, there's someone, I think your father-in-law, told you not to get married.
He
Is
told
that
me, and
correct?
he told me, and he told to him. On
It was your
Yeah, my
father.
Yes.
And he told you both not to get married.
Yes.
Yes,
What
because
was it?
he said not to get married because there's no point of getting married.
He's divorced. He
Yeah,
has very
so-
bad experience.
He had bad experience. But
Because
of
she
course,
was married before and he got a divorce.
yes, exactly. But
Hmm.
of course now he can see how blessed we are in our marriage,
Mm-hmm.
and of course
He even say,
it's like my I see when my dad is close to me how proud I feel to see us how far we became and to be examples of what we are today. So it's nice.
3 years ago he comes holiday and he said to us, you know why? He wants to have a wife the same faith as he see us today.
Wow.
Wow.
So
see?
he was about to cry when he sat
Yeah.
down on the table to us.
How
Was
many
very-
people listen to bad advice? Imagine if they had listened to this advice. Don't get married.
Mm-hmm.
A family member, his father, don't get
Yeah.
married. But now he sees, wow, I want to have what you have. Can you imagine a father telling his own son, I want to have what you have? Imagine.
Yeah, what we can see here, one day your father inspired you to have that kind of thought. You don't need to get married. But look at that. Now you are inspiring your father and your whole family. I want to have what you do.
Yes, indeed.
And they do.
For sure,
They do.
for sure, many of my family, they want to have what we have now.
It
Mhm.
became a reference.
Exactly, because we
Yeah.
became a reference. That gives us even more reason to carry on fighting
Yes,
for our relationship,
Mhm.
because we know that how precious this relationship is,
Mhm.
and God itself wants us to carry on blessing other people with this marriage.
So I can imagine, who would see you before fighting in that situation and see you now can see a huge
They always say,
difference.
"Wow." They
Yeah.
always say, "I remember how you guys used to be."
A
Yes.
womanizer.
Oh yes.
Became a
Nixon.
faith-
I
Yes,
cannot
that's
believe
true,
he got
it's
married.
true.
Yeah.
Even his mother
When I drive around and someone I stop and I see someone that I know for a long time and I say, "Hey, how are you?" And they say, "Listen, they tell me you chose what you chose is the best. I wish I could have that strength to do the same." I said, "You have
can
the
do it,
strength.
yeah.
You can do it. Just come with me." So it's always good, even when I use my marriage to evangelize people,
Yeah.
because they see that and it's good.
Wow.
It is.
So that man that never thought about getting married tonight, he's telling the pleasure of being married
It is a blessing.
is a blessing, right?
Yes, it's a blessing. And then that is the day when we're talking about I did the fighting 3 months later after the purpose. I put it on the altar in impossible cases. I determine if there is this marriage will not happen sooner than soon I put it the purpose. I said to God like this, God, if my marriage doesn't happen, I will break this. I don't want to stay with him. Even in church, I don't want it. The desire to serve God inside of me, it was since the beginning, the beginning my faith.
Mm-hmm.
But how can I serve God, be an example to the others people if I was still living in sin? And I couldn't accept that word inside of me, living in sin.
Mm-hmm.
And when was no longer after that, one night, when just are in bed talking about tomorrow, I don't know, we plan about something, I don't know, holidays or something. Don't remember what talking. And he just say, oh, you know, I think it's a time for us to plan for marriage.
It came from him.
From him. And then he say, I want to cry, but then I hold it. And then I say, when? He say, we need to plan because we don't have no money. Our money is just to pay the rent, to pay the things, basic things. No, for the rings, no, nothing. And then he say, we'll see tomorrow. I say, okay. But my tomorrow is tomorrow we go to the registration. I don't give reports to
Straight to the
him.
point.
I push him. We have to go.
Yes, he was.
Then the day we went to the registration, we have a very, very big argument the day before, Sunday night. A very, for nothing, we just little thing, but boom, both of us. He's talking, I talking. Then I went to the toilet to cry. And when I cry, God say, why you crying? Your blessings is here. And quickly I wash my face and then I start laughing myself, Oh yeah, you're right, God. We booked the registration. We went for 6 months time because obviously we want to prepare for the wedding. But the lady say, all fully booked for the year. And this was May. So she say, hold on a minute, I have here the 6th of June at 12 p.m. Someone booked, but they didn't pay yet. Let me call them. So she called. She took like half an hour more. She told us to wait. We wait. We put in God's hands. Whatever. If it's to be now, will be now. Then she came and called us, and she say 2 words in Portuguese to us. Today I'm gonna bless you. And I say, amen. We say
She
amen
said in Portuguese.
Yeah.
and we say amen. So then she say, this day here, 6th of June, is the couple council. So if you're happy, we go through this. I say, okay. What about you? He say, okay. We forgot it's his birthday. So we
6th of
accepted.
June is my birthday.
So
it was a gift from God.
It was a gift.
Who would say, huh?
I got
And-
married
The man
my
that was resisting marriage for years would get married in his birthday.
Yeah.
And you
I-
know-
I-
Gift.
everything-
God has a sense of humor, right?
Yes.
But
Always,
but
always.
every-
Right?
I even received double portion because I in our wedding we received a blessing from Pastor Alex
to
Alexander
pastors, yeah, that
Mhm.
time.
and Pastor Yami at that time.
Okay.
So everything was double for us. It
Uh-huh.
was really a blessing for us, and
Amen.
we could
But-
see the Holy Spirit working all the process.
Mhm.
But one point caught my attention, even to him. A few years ago, we think about that. He came to the church on the 6th of May. He asked me for relationship on the 6th of May, and then we got married on the 6th of June.
Mhm.
So everything is
According
somehow linked.
According to God's plan, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but what really matters is that that you are here together and you build this blessed love story. Thank
It's
you
a
for sharing
pleasure.
your love story,
it's a pleasure, Pastor.
and that's it. So have a wonderful night. See you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
The Love Talk Show on Liberty Radio.